Joker in a black dress and like this is
It is over.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Clash of Champions prediction show. Welcome to you all. It is a Thursday night, and we are all here. I've got the gang all with me. I've got Jeff, I've got Jodie, and I've got Brandi, and we are here to talk about Clash of Champions on Sunday. Give you our predictions, talk about the matches, and whatever we think might be some surprises that we may see along the way. So welcome to our show. Really, really glad that you could join us tonight. And we are really, really glad to be here. And I'm just kind of settling back in. I'm enjoying myself. I'm on my birthday eve, so I kicked back with a little bit of Red's Apple Ale earlier, and I'm good to go. I'm good to go. So here we are. Welcome to everyone with me tonight. I'm glad you. Thank you very much. I said earlier that people are talking to me about it, and I have to send a shout out to Rusty. Rusty is in the chat. Rusty, dude, sent me that Kyle Scarborough art, and I did show everybody that yesterday. And today I got a frame in for the artwork from him as well. Dude, like I've never seen a frame like this. It's an acrylic, like a clear see-through frame. Amazing. Like, dude, you really didn't have to do that, but honestly, dude, you made my day and you made my my week. Thank you so much, dude. I really, really appreciate that. You are the man. Yes. So, and I told everybody, I told my family, I said, okay, now that I hit 50, I'm going to start counting backwards. So I am now,
I like that.
I am now 49 come tomorrow.
Right.
There you go. I'm going to count backwards. So there you go. When you hit 50, that's my suggestion. You stop counting at 50 and you just go backwards. Thank you all. All right. Let me welcome who is in the chat. We have a Moda alert. Moda is a number. No, you're not number 2. You're number 1, Moda. You're number 1. You're the first one there. Eric Buchanan, hello to you. Dallas Stars fan, hello to you also. Let's see. Sean Flagstaff, welcome, man. Rusty Shackelford, I mentioned him before. So cool. The Bray art and that artwork by Kyle Scarborough. Good stuff.
I have one of those on my wall.
Good stuff, man. If you guys haven't and you're a Bray fan, go and pick that up, man. It is so worth that $29.99 on the shop. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. John Cena Gamers here. Welcome to you. The Sunny Wolf has arrived. Sipping on Timmy's. Yeah, of course you are sipping on Timmy. C Wrestling says, bonjour. Bonjour to you. We have Butterspark is here. Meme Collector is here. Hello. We have down in the chat, Sean is here. Welcome to Sean. Brawny FN, welcome to you. Hello to you this evening. I hope you are doing well. All right. So let's get into it, shall we? C says, disclaimer, the counting backwards thing is what Joe did 100 years ago. He's only just got back to 50. Oh, yes. Yeah, C's taking the place of my friend Chris DeZuba. Chris, when he's in here, always gives me some good age jokes. So, yes, there you go. I deserve that, I guess. Happy birthday, says Sean. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Really, really, really appreciate that. Wrestling Days fan is also in here. Popped in to say hello. I am so busy. I'll make sure to watch when I have time anyway. Rusty, feel free to time me out after they see my message.
Good Lord.
4 days, man. He just knows he's going to come in and just get timed out right away. Oh, man. All right. So, Clash of Champions this coming Sunday, and of course, we will be doing the watch along for you. Jeff, Brandi, and Jodie will start out probably looking about 5:45 ish, a little bit before the pre-show. There you go. So that is confirmed. 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come on over. Watch the pre-show with us and watch along with us for Clash of Champions. I will join in. Should be around 7-ish. I shouldn't miss too much of the actual show. Unfortunately, I'm working for the man on Sunday, so I can't get out early. But I will be there at 7, and the guys will, I'm sure, do a fantastic job with the Asuka match. So, you know what? While we're there, let's jump right into the pre-show match, shall we? A little bit surprised, a lot of you were, that this was going to be the pre-show match.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I mean, again, we talked about this on a podcast last night. I think it's because they don't get a lot of people tuning in for pre-shows, and I think they really want people to kind of get in and get started with this. Clash isn't it's a big pay-per-view because all the gold is on the line, so very different in that respect, but it's not one of their biggest pay-per-views of the year. So I think they're trying to get it jump-started a little bit with a what I think is going to be an amazing match. I really do. Yeah, the man is my boss. Yes, the man. Yes. But I think this is going to be a great match. I really do. So let's go round table. Jeff, start us off, man. What do you think of Asuka versus Zelina Vega?
Well, I think this has the potential to steal the night. I honestly do. I think it's going to be a great match. I'm really looking forward to see what happens with Zelina. I know she's going to perform well, but this is Asuka. So I've got Asuka winning this match, but I would not be surprised if we get some form of appearance by one Mickie James.
Oh, okay. Yeah, makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. We saw, of course, what happened with Mickie and that botched ending that she had with Asuka, which they never really clarified. But it kind of some behind the scenes things are going around. I heard on a few different shows that it was definitely a botched call. So whether or not they wrote, and I'm glad if they are going to write it into the storyline, that is amazing, and I'm with it. Of course, you guys know I love Mickie James, so if there is something going on there, I'm all good with that. All right, let's go to Brandi. Brandi, the first match that we're going to see Zelina wrestling. Actually, the second she wrestled on Raw, and she was impressive against Mickie James. So, what are you expecting here? Do you think Asuka retains, and how do you think Zelina is going to do?
I do not like that this is on the pre-show. I feel like you could have put a tag match here, and they should have enough confidence in their tag division that they can feel comfortable putting a tag match on the pre-show. I'm going with Asuka for the win. But I have heard on a couple of things that they kind of view Zelina Vega as maybe a young Stephanie. And I thought that was a really interesting way to look at her. I think she's going to look strong in the match, and I would love interference by Mickie James.
All right, yeah, there you go. So, I'll get to Jodie, and then I'll go last. Jodie, what do you think of the match? You think there's any chance that Zelina walks out with Asuka's gold? I know you're a big Asuka fan.
Of course, I'm a big Asuka fan. I absolutely adore Asuka. Also, not super excited that it's on the pre-show. I still think it's going to be an amazing match, and I agree that they're doing it because they want more people to tune into the pre-show. But yeah, no way Asuka is losing this, but I do think it's going to be a really good match, and I agree that we may get some interference by Mickie James. I did read an interview that she did after that, and she said that the official was concerned that she had, with the roll, that she had rolled on her neck funny. So that's why the official pretty much canceled the match at that point, because the official thought that she was hurt.
Yeah, there's been some different reports out there about that. Before we get past that, and this is out of sheer curiosity, so we have Brandi and Jodie both say they weren't thrilled by the fact that this is on the pre-show. Guys, let me know why that is, because I'm really curious now, because we're getting a different opinion here. Obviously, Jeff and I, and you guys, being both women, do you feel that is it? Because we've talked about this with AEW. Do you feel that this is, a little degradation of the women here themselves by kind of sticking them on the pre-show? Just let me know.
I don't think so. It's not a woman thing. It's just that, Asuka is. I think Asuka deserves more of a spotlight than that. It's a championship match. It's, the Raw Women's Champion, and I think Asuka's done a very good job defending that. And I just think that she deserves more of a spotlight for it.
So
I think Zelina does too. I mean, she's kind of on her own now, and I think she kind of deserves that spotlight to show what she can do as well.
So the positioning of the championship is more what you're saying, like the fact that she's the women's. Okay,
I don't like that there's a championship match,
on the pre-show.
Singles championship match on a pre-show.
Gotcha. Okay, Brandi, is that the same thing for you?
Here's my thing about Asuka. I'm not the greatest Asuka fan, but she has been a workhorse during this entire pandemic, and I feel like she deserves to be higher on the card. Zelina Vega, she's kind of having to earn her stripes, so to speak. But with probable interference from Mickie James, so you have two stars the caliber of Asuka and Mickie James, they absolutely deserve to be higher on the card.
Okay, fair enough. I was just really curious because, like I said, getting your guys' opinions, I really wanted to know what that was all about. C said pre-shows actually get more viewers. They're free on all social media platforms. True. They are simply trying to get people to watch to sell a pay-per-view. Sure. And yeah.
I get that.
Excuse me. That makes complete sense.
It's also not super common for them to have a singles championship match on a pre-show either.
Agreed.
Right.
Normally,
agreed.
It's if it's a championship match, it's a tag team championship.
Agreed. Sean agrees. He said Asuka's been carrying like half of the women's division for 6 months. She does deserve the main card. Meme Collector said Asuka versus Zelina being on the pre-show is bad because it's really the only match that feels fresh. Most of the other matches on the main show we've seen already. Good point. Good point.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, all right. I'm going to go with Asuka here. I don't think she drops that belt. Not in Zelina's essentially kind of first in pay-per-view match. I think Zelina will put up a good fight. I think it's going to be a good match. Like Jeff said, I think it could be a show stealer. And the good thing about it being on a pre-show is I think it's a lot of that stuff we see on the pre-show is kind of they're kind of squash matches, or else they're kind of an afterthought. It's kind of like, who cares? Like who really cares who wins? But being that this is, has the title there, I think it's going to be a good match, and I think it's really going to start the show and kickstart the show off really well. But I'm going with Asuka here, and if we do get some shenanigans, of course, Mickie coming down to the ring would make a lot of sense. Now, who does she go after? Would be the case too. Does she go after Zelina because Zelina just beat her, or does she go after Asuka after maybe Asuka wins the match and maybe Zelina's down and selling something there? Maybe she comes in and attacks Asuka. So we'll see. But I'm all for that. All for that. All right, let's move on, shall we? And let's go to the feud that never, ever ends. Forget the Funhouse. This is the feud that never, ever ends. Bobby Lashley and Apollo Crews. Oh, my goodness. This kind of thing with Apollo has gone on and on and on with the Hurt Business. I just kind of get a feeling that he's going to go through every member of the Hurt Business eventually, one by one by one. But man, we just get this, it just seems like we get this every single pay-per-view with Apollo. So let's start off backwards this time. Jodie, what do you think? Who do you got winning this one? Is there any way Apollo Crews gets that belt back?
I don't think so. They just put it on Bobby Lashley, and I think they're really trying to push the Hurt Business. They're trying to give him a spotlight. So, yeah, I definitely see Bobby Lashley winning due to, obviously, some interference by the rest of his team.
Yeah, you always got to count on that Hurt Business interference.
Yep.
Look, I'm liking what the Hurt Business is doing. I really am. They're really pushing them. You're right. They're making them look really strong. We've seen them take out everybody in Underground a few times and things like that. So, and there's the rumors starting to swirl around Bobby Lashley and one Brock Lesnar. It's starting to swirl. Starting to swirl a little bit. I
would actually really enjoy that.
I would too. That would be awesome to see.
I mean, they're both two really big guys. They're very heavy in the ring.
Yep.
Almost like it could be kind of a boxing match. I think it would be that would be a very good match.
Yeah, I agree. Rusty says, fight Bobby, definitely going to win this one. DJ B. Tazzy has joined us. Welcome to you, man.
Peaches!
Yes, Peaches. C Wrestling says, I just hope Lashley gets the full Nelson on Apollo and his head falls off. End this feud already. I don't care how. Oh, no, we don't want to see a beheading.
Behead him before Disney takes over.
Yeah. All right, Brandi, what do you think? Apollo versus Bobby Lashley.
I still have not forgiven Bobby Lashley. I'm holding a grudge, but yeah, this is a win for the Hurt Business. And I love that WWE is focusing more so on factions and, those types of things than maybe they have in the recent past. So I hope the Hurt Business carries this one.
Yeah, okay. Butterspark says Lashley, and let's see, Sunny Wolf saying Apollo. Okay. All right. Okay.
I think that's wishful thinking.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I mean, hey, they could throw a swerve at us, but I would tend to agree. I'm going to go with Bobby Lashley here as well. I don't think it's going to be close. I think the Hurt Business could come into the ring, and maybe we'll see Ricochet come down and stuff like that and help out Apollo as well. It ends up being a big free-for-all. But what do you think, Jeff?
I'm probably going to shock some people with what I'm about to say. I think we're going to see an expansion of the Hurt Business.
Ooh,
love it.
I think what we're going to see is we're going to see Bobby Lashley beat Apollo Crews up, and we're going to get either Ricochet or Mustafa Ali sighting, and we'll probably think that one of those guys will help out Apollo, but they will in fact be there to join their new family. So that's my opinion. I think Bobby Lashley wins, but I would love to see in addition, because I think where we're headed at this point is I think we're going to see the Hurt Business against Retribution at Survivor Series. So what better time to introduce a new member of the Hurt Business? If you do a 5-on-5 or whatever, what better time to do that than right now? So I think that's what we'll hopefully get. But in terms of the match, I've got Lashley winning. They just put the belt on him, and if they're looking to build him up for an eventual showdown with Brock, then you can't take the belt off of him right now. So I've got Lashley winning.
Yeah, I agree. I think
does
Lashley's
that
going to
mean
win.
that Brock goes after that championship?
Why not? I mean, Cena did it. So, I mean, Cena held that belt for a while. Even after his world title runs, he held that belt. So, I mean, I think why not?
I think that would be a good way to add some prestige to that title as well, because everybody kind of focuses on the two big ones. And I definitely think that would be a good way to kind of beef up that championship a little bit.
Yeah. Great call. Joey's Adventure says, is Bobby Lashley even a heel at this point? He's feuding with both face Apollo and heel Retribution. Yeah, Retribution seems like they're just the heels for everyone. Of course, when you have your leader is Bane, you're gonna be a heel. Obviously they're building that up to Survivor Series. That's gonna be, it's gonna be WWE versus Retribution at some point at Survivor Series. Whoever's gonna be in the team, we don't know. The Hurt Business could be a big part of it. Obviously, Drew McIntyre went after them now too. So yeah, that's probably going to be your big thing at Survivor Series. Going to be something with Retribution.
And
But
Joe, can I speak to that real quick?
Yep.
I think, I mean, and hear me out on this. I think as wrestling fans, sometimes we get caught up in heel or face, but I think if we're honest about it, especially with the direction that WWE and other promotions are trying to go, I don't think there's really a clear line anymore.
Yeah.
It's all about matchups at this point, and what makes, what sells the most tickets or gets the most eyeballs. So, I think, and that's also a really good thing for booking, because it doesn't lock people into a specific matchup because this person's a face and this person is a heel. So, I hope that people are getting away from that, because we just want to see good matchups. So, why not have a heel Brock Lesnar against a heel Bobby Lashley? I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Or, a face, Drew McIntyre against a face Keith Lee. I mean, that, again, I think that's amazing. So, I think if we get away from the labels, and if the companies get away from the labels, then we get a good chance of getting some new, fresh matchups that we haven't gotten before, unlike the 12,000 time that we've seen this match, or the one between the Street Profits and Garza and Andrade.
Yeah, very true. No, yeah, I agree. I mean, you're even seeing other companies doing it now too. Like, I mean, Jericho comes out getting, serenaded to his song. Then when he walks into the ring, he's one of the biggest heels that there is, and yet people still love him. So, I mean, and yeah, I mean, who doesn't love the bad guy? So yeah, I would agree. I mean, yeah, I think it's crossed the line like that in all companies. I don't think you're seeing that shining face anymore. Even everybody, the faces have grit to them. McIntyre's got a mean streak. I mean, obviously Moxley's got a mean streak, and they're the guys at the top right now. So yeah, I agree. I think they're crossing the line a little bit over, which is good. Yeah, it makes for good storytelling. You're absolutely right. All right, let's move on to our next match, shall we? Let's do the tag team. Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura versus the Lucha House Party, Kalisto, Grand Metalik, and Lance Dorado. So, oh boy, I don't see Shinsuke and Cesaro losing here. In fact, I think all we're getting from this really is going to be a build up to a breakup with the with the Lucha House Party. I think that's where we're going to go here. I think something's going to happen that's going to lead these guys out of, whatever feud this is or whatever this is going to be. But I don't think Shinsuke and Cesaro are going to drop those titles. I think they've come up, they've earned them. I think they're good with the titles. Obviously, we had a feud with them and the Street Profits going on, cross promotion a little bit. So I don't think this is the match they're going to lose the titles. And I think they're going to win this one tomorrow. Let's go to Jeff. Jeff, what do you think about this one?
I've got, excuse me, Shinsuke and Cesaro retaining. I do agree with you. I think that we'll see a breakup from the Lucha House Party, which I hope that it doesn't mean a complete breakup, because we need as many tag teams as we can get right now in WWE. So I hope that, maybe one feels like, hey, I don't need this crap. I'm going to go do my own thing. And then the other two are a legitimate tag team. So, so hopefully we still have a team left out of this, but I do have the current champions winning this one and continuing their reign.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Everybody's making fun of poor Retribution in the chat again. Moda, I'm not going on a rant of crapping on Retribution. I just think the dude looks like Bane. That's all. I'm cool with that. I like Bane. Let's see. So did Nakamura. He got serenaded, says Butterspark. Every tag match on the card deserves an I don't. Wow, Eric. Jeez, buddy. Man, dude. Wow. Okay. Cesaro Nakamura retained. Yes, I agree, Moda. Yeah, I do believe that will be the case. All right. Brandi, what do you think about this one?
Cesaro and Nakamura retain. I like these guys as a pair, but I think there possibly could be an unmasking.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Well, that's always certainly a possibility when you have lucha wrestlers in the ring. So there you go. Okay. All right. Jodie, what are you thinking here?
I definitely think Cesaro and Nakamura retain. I'm not the biggest Nakamura fan, and I preferred Cesaro. I really missed the bar, but I do think they work very well together. And yeah, definitely see him retaining this.
Yeah, I would agree. I think we're all in agreement here. Maybe not one of the most popular matches on the card. I mean, I like Shinsuke and Cesaro together. I like Cesaro. Jeff and I have talked about that a lot. And I think that, I'm glad he's a champion. I'm glad he's holding on to a title. Was always good with Tag Team Gold, obviously, when he was with Sheamus as well. So, but yeah, I think we're all in agreement here. I think this one will be, hopefully the match will be good. I think you'll see a lot of high-flying spots, obviously, from these guys during this. But yeah, probably not one of the matches that everybody's going to be looking forward to mostly. So, all right, let's go to another tag team match, shall we? But this time it's the women. Let's go to Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, the champions, versus the Riott Squad, Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan. I know there's a person in our chat who's looking forward to this match. See wrestling. Well, look, I mean, those of you who like Liv Morgan, obviously this is cool, seeing her getting a shot at the titles. It looks like it's going to be a big uphill climb, especially how they built this up on Raw. Really made Liv and Ruby look like they're out of their element here against two much bigger opponents. Let's go to Jodie. Jodie, start us off here. Do you think there's any way the clear underdogs win the titles during this match?
I do, actually. And I'm going to be in the minority and say that the Riott Squad actually win this.
Okay. All right. Okay. Let's go to Jeff. Jeff, what do you think, man? Any chance that they have to beat Baszler and Nia Jax?
Simply put, yes.
Okay.
I actually have the Riott Squad winning this one because the team of Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler was never meant to be a long, sustaining team. It was just a pair of singles competitors with a common goal of making Bayley and Sasha suffer. So they don't like each other. They've told each other that. We know that. So I think we'll see a little bit of an implosion here. And I think the Riott Squad will win.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? Fair enough. This is a tough call for me, but yeah, I'm looking at it from that angle as well. I think that what they may be doing here is that Shayna and Nia might get into a singles competition after this is over. They do blow up, let's say, and I mean, obviously, they were kind of going back and forth behind each other's backs, and they do not like each other. They never have from the very beginning. So yeah, I think something's going to happen there. There's going to something. One of them's going to hit the other, and it's just going to start a big war. And then I think it'll go on to be a feud in the future, and they'll get out of the tag team competition. So yes, I am going with you guys. I think the Riott Squad will actually win because the fact that I think that Nia and Shayna just are not going to coexist through this match. That something's going to happen. What about you, Brandi? What do you think?
I'm with you, Joe.
Okay. All right. Yeah, fair enough. I think this one's one of those matches where you just kind of are getting the feeling that this is going to be something that's just going to happen between those two. I mean, they've been building that up for a while, so I think that's what we're going to see. All right. So new champs, there you go. New tag team champions. Then we are all predicting. Let us go, shall we, to this one's going to be fun. The ladder match. Ladder matches are always fun. Let's go to Jeff Hardy versus AJ Styles versus the always entertaining Sami Zayn. Man, I love Sami, dude. I think he's hilarious. I absolutely do. Who do we have doing this? Let's start with Brandi. What do you think? We know that Jeff is kind of the king of ladder matches, but hey, AJ Styles is AJ Styles, and that X factor with Sami Zayn. So who do you have coming out on top in this one?
I want Sami to be the dark horse in this match, and I want Sami to win. I love Sami. He's an amazing heel. He's also an amazing face. He's one of those people I think you can't go wrong with. And I think a lot of people think that he's not going to win. And I want him to win all day long.
Yeah, I would not mind at all if Sami Zayn wins, because again, it would be kind of a funny addition to that story where he's going around saying he's still the champ and never lost. So if he actually won, he walks around with both of those belts, the belt that he had that he said he never lost, and then the new belt, and then you just see him kind of walking around with the two belts and everything like that. I mean, it would lend to a really funny story. Moda says, I think he's talking about the previous match. I could see a title switch here, but I'm still on the fence on who wins. Riott Squad needs the titles to get over, and a title switch could lead to a nice Shayna and Nia feud. Yeah, I agree. Eric saying it will be Jeff, but I want Sami Zayn. Meme Collector said, I see Jeff doing a crazy spot off a ladder onto AJ, and Sami sneaks his way up the ladder to win. Good call. That could very well happen. Jeff, what are you thinking here? Who do you think wins this?
Well, we can't get something else to happen unless we get a new champion in this match.
I think I know where you're going.
Yeah. I think
if you listen to Abby's window, you're going to know where he's going.
Yeah, I think in order for us to see a reemergence of Willow, Jeff Hardy has to lose this match. So who do I think wins between AJ and Sami? Well, I think AJ and Jeff will do some crazy stuff off of the ladder, and Sami, to his credit, will be the ultimate opportunist. He will swoop in at the end, and he will capture the IC title and say, I told you so. Mm-hmm. And then I think we start to see some changes in one Mr. Jeff Hardy.
Okay. All right. We know Jeff just got re-signed by WWE, so there you go. Look, again, I'm all for Sami Zayn win. And you know what? It could almost be like, again, WWE likes to do this too. They like to kind of correct their own mistakes. They took the title off of him because he wasn't going to come back. He didn't feel comfortable coming back. So the title got taken off of him, and now, he's back. They kind of give him the title back. So it wouldn't be a crazy thought. They've done this kind of thing before. Moda says, I'll take Sami. I think you'd make an amazing heel IC champion. You could set up an amazing AJ versus Jeff feud. Yeah, absolutely. Eric says, all I know is AJ isn't winning. Yeah, you kind of get that feeling maybe because he was, he had the title belt for a little while. Jodie, what do you think?
I am totally going to go with Jeff. I think we can't get the reemergence of Willow unless Jeff loses. And my theory about him possibly starting a feud with Bray. So I am going to go with Sami Zayn as well.
Okay. All right.
In the same fashion, AJ and Jeff will be beating up on each other, and Sami will be that opportunist that goes and steals it.
Yeah, that's a good call. That's a really good call by everyone there. This is another tough one. I do agree with the chat thinking that it's not going to be AJ because I think AJ is going to move on to something else. And AJ could even end up getting moved to Raw as well. That's
what I think. I think AJ wants to go to Raw. So
yep. Yeah, I think we might see AJ getting traded over to Raw. So that would leave Sami and Jeff. I agree with all of you in the fact that if they are planning on having him jump and start that storyline, I mean, we had Jeff. Jeff obviously is the title holder, So, they could just have a singles feud with him and Sami going forward if Jeff retains. I'm going to agree with all of you. I'm going to go with Sami. I think the reasoning is sound. And I think, like you guys are saying, he is the typical heel. He's kind of that slimy heel that kind of, takes advantages of situations and just sneaks in there. We saw Johnny Gargano kind of doing that when they had that big 5-way in NXT. So, similar thing. I think he's going to kind of just wait, pick his spots and wait for the other two guys to completely demolish one another and then kind of just sneaks in and gets the title. Yeah, great call. And I agree with you both for that one. DJ B. Tazzy says, party people, if you haven't already, drop a like. If you haven't already, subscribed to the channel and join the same crew this Sunday for Clash of Champions. Watch along a live reaction. Thank you, sir. Yes, I appreciate that. If you have not already, like the video for us. If you want to do it later on before you leave, that's cool too. Like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And yes, join us Sunday for Clash of Champions as well. All right. What is next on the card? Let's see. How about the Street Profits, the Red Solo Cup guys, against Andrade and Angel Garza? So another match where, yes, we've seen this kind of all before. Now it's Andrade and Angel Garza looking like they're back together again, and the Street Profits have the titles, and we're going to get a little bit of a rehash here. I'm going to say right off the bat that I think this is just a setup for a complete split and a blow up between Andrade and Angel Garza. Zelina may not be present because of her match earlier. It might explain maybe why she doesn't come down to the ring. Maybe something happens to her where she can't come down to the ring. But I think that this is a blow up between those two, and I think that's what it's going to be. I don't think the Street Profits drop the titles in this one. It seemed like Angel Garza and Andrade are both going separate ways and maybe going back to singles competition, and that's what I think is going to happen. I think it's going to just be a blow up between them, and I don't think that they are going to win this match. I think the Street Profits retain. Jeff, what do you think here?
Oh boy, so I'm gonna be. This is purely because I just want to be different and just controversial, I guess. But why not form a faction of winners and aspiring champions? The best way to do that is for, now we've got Zelina in the title picture. She's not going to win it right now, but she's in that hunt. These guys have been doing this for a while, and what unites people more than anything other than money is gold. And I truly believe that this is the time that we get these two to win the gold. I don't think it's going to last for very long, but I think we get an upset. I think we get Andrade and Angel Garza defeating the Street Profits, because right now the writing on the wall is that everything looks like it's just all Street Profits. Like there's no way they can lose. And those are the moments that we get fooled.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Jodie, what do you think?
I am going to go with the Street Profits. I think that they are going to, Angel Garza and Andrade are going to implode.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
Turn on each other.
By the way, I wanted to say after Jeff was done, Jeff wants to smoke. Jeff wants to smoke. Brandi, what do you think is going to happen here? You think the title holders retain, or do we see something going on between Andrade and Angel Garza?
I think there's going to be some kind of fluke and Garza and Andrade win, but I also think you see an implosion as well.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go. That would be something. You know what? We've kind of seen that before in tag team wrestling over the years, where two people end up winning the titles and then absolutely hate each other. That's happened before in wrestling. So there you go. Interesting storyline that could end up being. Jesse Drew. Hello to you, Jesse. How are you tonight? Hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining the show. Dallas Stars fan says, I'm back. Like Eric Bischoff. All right, let's move on. What do we have next? Let's go to the other women's match Bayley versus Nikki Cross. And now, again, this is another match that has been done before, but this may have some sort of a little thing going on outside of the ring here. So let's talk about this one. I have no doubt that Bayley retains. I don't think that Nikki Cross wins this. I don't think Bayley's going to lose that title right now because we all know what's coming. We all know that Sasha Banks and Bayley are going to go at it, and it's going to be for that belt. And more than likely, Sasha's going to get that belt at some point in time. So I do not see her losing this match. What I do see is I see something from Alexa Bliss. I don't know when it's going to happen, but I think Alexa is going to attack Nikki at some point during the match or after the match, but at some point she's going to do it. And maybe she comes down. Maybe she's all cool. She's all good. Maybe she comes down to try to help Nikki or try to convince, and then maybe Nikki gets a little pissed off. Maybe Nikki starts kind of giving her some grief, and maybe, just maybe, Nikki utters the word and says, "What did the Fiend do to you?" Uh-oh. You don't want to do that. And I think she may end up doing just that. I think she may end up just slipping and saying it. And then I think because she does, I think we see her get Sister Abigail, or worse, maybe there's something else. Maybe there's a mandible claw in Nikki Cross's future. We don't know. But I think, obviously, I think that's the storyline with this match more so than what's going to happen in the actual match. I really don't think that, again, Bayley loses because of what's going to come up with her and Sasha. So, Brandi, what do you think here? Do you think Bayley retains, or do you think somehow Nikki pulls a big upset and gets the title?
Bayley retains, and I want Sasha and Bayley in a cage at Hell in a Cell.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Yeah. We've got Hell in a Cell coming up, so absolutely. That would be amazing. Jodie's Adventure says, this will be a little too far into the future, but I think all this ends at WrestleMania when Fiend Alexa defeats Sasha for the title. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, dude, that would be cool. Long-term storytelling. Nothing wrong with that. Shay Kaisman says, thanks. Hello to Shay. Hello. How are you? Hope you are doing well. Already hit the like. Thank you. Appreciate that. Really appreciate that.
This is Shay's first time joining us. So
awesome.
Right.
Well, welcome.
Yay.
All right. Welcome
Hello,
to you.
Shay.
Welcome to you. And if you have not already done so, subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. If you like what you hear, go over there and hit that subscribe button to get our content and all of the other shows we're doing. And join us on Sunday for Clash of Champions for the watch along as well. Welcome. All right. So, Jeff, what are you thinking, man? Do you think we're going to get something with Alexa here? Or you think Nikki somehow wins this thing? Or you think Bayley's just going to retain for that future match with Sasha?
Yeah, I don't think you can fully tell the Sasha Bayley story without the championship on the line, honestly. Yep. So I do think that Bayley retains here, but I'm gonna be the guy that has his cake and eats it too. I think we get an interference from Alexa and Sasha.
Oh, okay.
I think we get both of them involved somehow. I think now I do think that it's possible this match ends in a DQ. And I think that we get interference from both. I think we get interference from Sasha. Alexa comes down to help out, and either Sasha or Bayley say the Fiend.
Oh, okay.
And then that's when we get that turn, and she immediately goes after Nikki at that point. That's just my little prediction.
That's an interesting side story. I mean, it's funny because people can use that word now as a weapon. Like somebody else could say it. It doesn't have to be the person like saying it by accident. If they know that she's doing that, that's a good call. They know that she's doing that. Somebody could come out and say that to have her snap on somebody else. That's a good call, dude. All right, Jodie, go ahead. What do you think is going to happen in this one?
All right. Here's how I see it playing out. I could be totally wrong, but Bayley's going to retain. I think that Alexa and Sasha both show up. Sasha is distracting Bayley, and Nikki, it looks like Nikki's going to get the upper hand. Bayley knows that word is a weapon. Bayley says it to get Alexa to attack Nikki Cross so she can retain the title.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah, that would be cool. I'm down because I think this is going to be one of the matches that we just don't know. I think not the outcome, but I think we're all expecting something to happen here. And I think that this is one of the ones that was going to garner a lot of attention when all is said and done, because I think something is absolutely going to happen in this match. Moda says Bayley retains. Yes, I agree. I don't think there's any way she loses that title, but what's going to happen is going to be the key. Are we going to see Sasha? Are we going to see Alexa? Are we going to see both, like Jeff said? Brian says the sixth title match between these two this year. Yeah, it may seem that way. Look, I'm okay. I like Nikki. And really, honestly, I have to give Bayley a ton of credit, because when she did that promo about Sasha, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Brilliant. And I'm not a Bayley fan. I've said that to you guys, but she killed that promo. Absolutely killed it. Coming out and giving her reasons why she did what she did. Brilliant. I absolutely loved it. Shay says, I subbed a month ago. Oh, cool. Thanks, dude. Didn't get the chance to be in here, and I'm following the podcast on Twitter as well. Thanks, man. Really appreciate that. Hope you are enjoying what you are hearing. Moda says interference from both would have to happen simultaneously, and so they would both have to be around ringside. I don't think that happens. I'll say interference from Alexa, but not Sasha. Okay. All right.
And I guess I need to clarify on that. I'm not saying that they'll both do it at the same time. I think we definitely get Sasha first. And then that's what I was saying. I think we get Alexa coming out to assist Nikki, but then we get someone saying the Fiend. And and that's when we get chaos.
Okay. All right. Yeah. All right.
I just want to say I love heel Bayley. I don't think she's gotten enough credit. She's done a great job as a heel.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't like her probably because of the fact that she irks me and that she's doing her job. I mean, if somebody is irking you, then they are doing their job. So, I mean, in that respect, look, she's doing her job. I mean, she's getting on my nerves. That's what a heel is supposed to do. So, you know, whether they're drawing anger from you or whether they're drawing like emotion from you, obviously she's doing her job. So, all right, there you go. John Cena Gamer says, I'm excited to see what Alexa does this Sunday. Yes. Daddy's fan says Bayley's title reign has been awesome. Yeah, dude, she's had that belt for a long time. All right. Let's go on to, looks like we've got 2 matches left. Let's move on to this one. Championship match number 1, Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman, a.k.a. Wobbly Walrus, versus Jey Uso. So a family clash here. Now, listen, we saw, Jey all up and happy, walking away from the ring on Raw on Monday night, and we saw the stare. We saw Roman give him that glare, and the mouth was kind of moving, and he was giving him that stare down. Jey didn't see it, but we saw that evilness coming out of Roman. I mean, we didn't see that much during the last couple of weeks. Roman was kind of hugging out with him a little bit and kind of looking like he was happy, but we got the stare. So look, this is how I think this is going to go. One of 2 ways, and you guys can tell me what you think as well, and the chat can let us know what you guys think. This is going to go one of 2 ways. One, it's a complete swerve. I'm not going to say we're going to get the finger poke of doom. I certainly hope we don't. But I think it could. Boy. I think it could go similarly to that. I don't think they'll do that exact same kind of thing, but I think Jey maybe lets him win somehow. I don't know how that would work, but I think this may be a swerve and the start of a faction. That's one way. The other way is that Roman absolutely devastates Jey Uso, just destroys Jey Uso. No mercy, full on heel, and we're getting a new look and a new theme from Mr. Reigns this coming Sunday as well. We're getting no vest Roman, no more bulletproof vest. Since he's been with the Shield, he's had the bulletproof vest. We're getting Mr. No Shirt now, Mr. Buff Roman Reigns coming down to the ring with no vest apparently, and a new theme song as well. So 2 things to look forward to from Roman Reigns. And then, of course, the presence of Paul Heyman. Now, Paul Heyman's kind of been a little more laid back with Roman. He's not coming out. Roman is taking the mic. Roman's talking. So it's not like Paul is doing all the talking like he did with Brock, and Brock just kind of stood there. Roman's been talking. So Heyman may be taking up a little bit of a different kind of relationship here, kind of standing in back a little bit, maybe doing things from the backs, not being out in front of this whole thing. So, but look, Roman Reigns is not losing this title. No way, no how. There is no way he's dropping this title. But like I said, I think it goes one of 2 ways. Either he devastates Jey Uso and keeps that belt and just, grows that heel persona because he's destroying his family, or Jey Uso is going to just allow him to win, because remember Roman made that statement saying, I have to be the one that has this title. I have to be, for our family. I have to be the one. So that's where I don't know which way it's going to go. I really don't. I'm just going to say that I pick Roman to win because that's obvious. I think he's winning. I just don't know how it's going to be. Jeff, let's go to you. What are you thinking here? What do you think is going to happen in this? Because I think there's a few different directions they can go.
No vest, no shirt, no problem. Roman Reigns is going to come in and he's going to destroy his cousin, and he's gonna walk out the champion. I do think that this beating will kind of bring Jey to his senses and they'll join somehow. Someone just made a comment, and I want to make sure I give credit to whoever it was, because if this happens, I might burst people's eardrums on Sunday. Someone made a comment about Samoa Joe.
Eric Harper.
What if it was Samoa Joe who was traded to SmackDown from Mandy? So on Sunday, he attacks Jey before the match to help Roman win easily. I would love to see a new version of a Samoan dynasty with Samoa Joe, Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, led by Paul Heyman, Wobbly Walrus, Paulie Dangerously, whatever you want to call them. Just give me more of it, because that's what I really want to see.
Oh, that would be cool, dude. That would be cool. All right, Brandi, what are you thinking here? I think we're all going to be pretty much unanimous that Roman is winning this title. It's just how it's going to happen.
Jeff, I think that would be really cool as well, but Joe is not the family. So how does that play a part? Also, Roman's winning. And do we see an appearance from Jimmy Uso?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Jimmy comes down and helps Jey after, when Jey's kind of getting the beating and stuff like that. Yeah, certainly could be a possibility. The other thing we kind of have to discuss, and since I'm going to Jodie next, do we see an appearance from The Fiend at the end of this match? I guess we'll find out maybe on SmackDown tomorrow night. There's been nothing said. So remember, the to be continued. Is the continued going to happen tomorrow? Because if it does, I think that's pretty much an indicator that we're going to get something from him on Sunday. And it could be a mandible claw to Mr. Wobbly Walrus. So Jodie, what do you think is going to happen here? Are you going to go, kind of siding with our theory here? I mean, I'm pretty sure you're going to pick Roman, but how do you think it's going to happen?
I am going to go opposite from you guys. I definitely think Roman's going to win, but I think at the end he's going to turn on his own family.
Okay, so basically you think that he's just going to go through the match like normal, get the win, and then just kind of beat the crap out of him after the match is over?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, well, fair enough. Yeah,
because that was always the one thing that Roman swore he would never do, that he would never turn on his family. Well, he's different now. He's heel Roman. He's completely different. He's getting a new look. He's getting a new song. So I definitely think that points to that he's a new person. He's different now, and I think that he is going to turn on his own family, and that is going to set up eventually for the Roman versus The Rock at WrestleMania.
Yeah. Well, hey, look, I mean, you're right. He is heel Roman now, and we've seen him be heel Roman. He took his, he picked his spots. When he came out and won that title, he let Braun and Bray destroy each other. He picked his spot when he came in and speared both of them. So maybe he wrestles a normal match and he, goes off as if he's going to maybe shake, Jay's hand afterward, and then he just completely devastates him and takes him out. And absolutely. Yeah, could be a definite good call.
So if it goes that way, I don't think we see the Fiend.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, and it's going to end maybe with a little bit more tension from Roman, he doesn't actually turn right now, then I definitely think we could see Mr. Heyman get attacked by the Fiend.
I think, too, it's going to depend on what match is the main event. Yes. Because if this one is the main event, then we probably have more likely of seeing it end with a Fiend attack, because that would be a hell of a way to end the show.
And I think it will be the main event.
It could be. Yeah, it absolutely could be. The Drew and Randy, which we're going to get to next, is going to be the other big match of the night. So we'll see what they make the main event. But let's see. I think we get Funhouse Bray versus Roman first, says Joey's Adventure. Save Fiend versus Roman for WrestleMania. By the way, The Rock had some comments about possible match with Roman Reigns, saying that he thinks that would be a pretty good idea. So so there you go. That it is out there now. Let's see. Like I said, Samoa Joe said he would hate to be in a faction with Roman and the Usos. Yeah, but you never know. I mean, look, things are changing. Again, they're kind of changing all the time. And maybe Samoa Joe kind of feels as if he's kind of stuck in a way. And look, Samoa Joe is better as a heel. There is no doubt he is better as a heel.
So. Just because Samoa Joe doesn't want it doesn't mean it's not going to happen.
Yep.
Because Vince makes the decisions. So.
Yes, he does. We all know that. Mr. McMahon does.
He says it doesn't mean that it's truthful.
Yeah,
could
be a swerve. Yep, they will make comments and put comments out there to make you think something else is going to happen. Butterspark says Clash ended last year with a Fiend attack on Seth. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Good call. All right. Let's go to our last match, shall we? Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton in an ambulance match. These things don't normally go very well. There's been a lot of these ambulance matches over the years, and they don't always really go that well. Moda's saying whether we see the Funhouse on Friday or not, I don't think Bray or the Fiend will show on Sunday, or won't show Sunday, and we won't see either in Thunderdome until after the draft. Yeah, it could be. It could very well be right. We will see whether or not. And I think whether we see something tomorrow or not really will tell the story. All right, but let's talk Drew and Randy. So let's start out with Jodie. Who wins this one? Does Drew retain, or do we finally see Randy take that title off of Mr. McIntyre and kind of change the landscape a little bit on Raw?
I do. I actually do think that Randy's going to walk away with that belt.
Okay.
I don't know why. It's just a gut feeling, and I'm going with it.
Okay. Timbo869 has joined us. Conrad is here from Everything Pro Wrestling. Hello, Conrad. How are you doing this evening? Hope you are well. Rusty says Drew is getting a free ride in a meat wagon. All righty then. Well, we know which way Rusty is siding here. Yeah, look.
It's definitely going to be a hell of a match.
Let's just hope that we don't get a broken jaw somewhere along the line in this, because I think we've seen a lot of jaw action going on with both of these two men. With Drew and his supposedly broken jaw, and Randy with his messed up jaw. Let's just hope we don't see one of them with a jaw kind of hanging off, or whatever the case might be. Or all right, Brandi, what do you think? Who do you think wins this one?
I'm going with the Viper all day long on this one. I want to see him get another title win to move closer to Flair's 16. I like the idea of Triple H, Orton, Cena, all being right around that mark and wondering, okay, who's going to finally take it? I would love to see Braun Strowman be the driver of the ambulance.
Ooh.
I don't know
That's
if that's
interesting.
going to happen, but if I were booking it, that's what I would do.
That'd be cool.
That's
Yeah.
interesting. That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, Braun is in Raw Underground at the moment, so yeah, I mean that would be cool. That would be cool. Let's see. I'm gonna go. Man, this is tough. I'm going to go with Drew retaining here. And I think the only reason I'm doing that is because for the future, so going forward, I think we're either going to see Drew involved somehow with that Retribution storyline, which he doesn't need the belt to do that, but still. Or I think he's going to be involved with Tyson Fury going forward. Which I think having the belt involved somewhere there would make a little more, make it a little more prestigious than him not having the title anymore. It's a tough call. It really is, because I could go either way. I think Randy at some point, at some time, is getting that belt. I mean, he's talking about it being his 14th title victory, and so yeah, I think at some point he's taking that belt. I just don't know when, but I think at some point he will, and it could certainly be. It could certainly be. This one could really go either way, but I'm going to just pick the champion for now, just because I do think that this ends. I think that this story ends. I don't think they will go at, this will continue after this either way. Maybe one of the guys gets moved. I don't know. But yeah, I'm going to go with Drew in this one to retain the title. Jeff, what are you thinking here?
Man, this is probably the one that I've had the most trouble with out of all the matches that we've predicted so far, because I can make a case for either guy, and I think both of them are at the top of their games right now.
Yep.
But since we're picking, I mean, this will probably change in 5 minutes or 10 minutes, but for right now, give me Drew. But I would not be surprised if Randy Orton comes out the winner. And I'm gonna throw another little thing out there. I know we're looking for the Fiend to interfere in Roman's match, but I wouldn't be shocked if it happens in this one. Just because we're getting that draft, I don't see them moving Randy, or maybe they do after an interference here. So I'm just going to throw that out there. Maybe we get a Fiend interference, but maybe it's not in the match that we thought.
Okay. Conrad says Retribution cost Drew. That could be another factor too. They, of course, were just, they were all over Raw, so they could certainly, I mean, Drew came out and did kind of come out at the end and kind of randomly attack them. He hadn't been involved with them, and then all of a sudden you see Drew said he kind of wants to pick a fight. So he just comes out of nowhere and kind of leads the charge against Retribution. So if that happens, though, to your point, Conrad, I think that then we're going to get a screwy finish. If they come out, I think that they're going to come out and attack both men, and I don't think that we're going to get it. I don't think we'll get a finish one way or the other. I think the match gets called, and I don't think they'll get a finish. And maybe what we end up seeing is maybe we end up seeing Randy and Drew beat the crap out of Retribution and stick two of them in the ambulance or something along those lines. But it could be like a screwy finish if that happens. C Wrestling says Fiend has a recent history with ambulances. Yes, he does. He was definitely in the ambulance. Yes. Eric says, ew, Tyson. Not a Tyson Fury fan, I guess, huh? Drew versus Tyson
Fury. I want to see that match so bad.
I liked the promo that he did when he was walking around walking around. I think he was in Scotland. He was walking around and he had Roddy Piper's theme. Guy playing Roddy Piper's theme behind him with bagpipes. I'm like,
I know.
Amazing. Yeah.
I'm totally loving all the interaction that they're having on Twitter. It's absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, I think that I'd be up for that. I think that would be good. Modus says too close to call. Yes. I'll say Drew because Randy has gotten the best of Drew lately, but don't be surprised if we get a schmozzy easy finish and get the rematch at Hell in a Cell. That could be. And if Retribution interferes, that would be your finish that you're talking about. And then maybe they do continue maybe at Hell in a Cell. I wonder if we could see Edge. Could we see an Edge sighting here? Yeah, might be closer and closer to him coming back.
Not yet.
Oh yeah, I don't know if he's ready to wrestle, obviously, but just to come in and do something quick, a quick spear or a quick, something or other. Maybe. I mean, that could be. They might be saving something like that for Survivor Series as well. So to Brandy's point, they could be wanting to save that for a bigger pay-per-view, and obviously Survivor Series would be the bigger pay-per-view that's coming up the end of the year. Keith Lee turns heel on Drew McIntyre, giving Randy Orton a win. Keith could get involved. I mean, he's been involved with both men. So yeah, there you go. And I mean, look, I would not be opposed to a Keith Lee heel turn. Not one bit. That would be awesome. I'm all about that. Butterspark says, but if a Fiend Orton match does happen, needs some time to simmer and develop into something special long term. Yeah, we talked about that on Abby's. I would agree. I would definitely agree there. I think that's going to definitely be probably one of the longest Fiend storylines that we are going to see. Last ambulance match was good. It was Roman versus Braun, Great Balls of Fire 2017. Okay, all right. I just know there have been over the years. And I'm not even talking maybe more recent history, but over the years, I've seen some of these matches that just were not good. Have Drew win, and I'll give the show a 10 out of 10, says Days Fan. Butterspark says Drew versus T-Bar. Yippee. Moda says, I don't think WWE has any other storyline for these two apart from each other, so I could see this feud begrudgingly dragging on until they have something for both superstars after the feud. Dave Sven says, yay, a screwy finish. I don't mind that as long as Randy isn't winning.
I would like to see Braun get involved.
Yeah,
Me too.
Brandi brought that up. Yeah, that would be
I'd love
cool.
to see Braun go after that title.
Fiend will be the ambulance driver. Book it. Oh, that would be an interesting little twist, wouldn't it?
That'd be a great twist.
You see them get put in there, and all of a sudden the Fiend takes off, and that would be pretty awesome. Orton is my prediction, says Shay. Since we're getting a draft next month, I really want to see Fiend on Raw and Seth on SmackDown. That way, we can get Seth versus Roman and Fiend versus Randy. Yes, two very good. A lot of people are already talking about a Seth versus Roman thing. Yeah. Although, I mean, again, both are kind of
until after he comes back.
Yeah, both. Yeah, that's true. He's going to be gone for a while. Of course, going out for the birth of his baby. So he will be gone for a little while. Edge may be closer to next year, says Butterspark. Yes, could very. Yeah, I mean, it could be. They could be waiting for that. I mean, that's more than likely going to be WrestleMania. That match between him and Randy is more than likely going to be WrestleMania, and maybe Randy has the title at that point. Imagine the awesome.
It would be poetic because Randy took his title at WrestleMania.
Yep.
It would be. Yeah, absolutely would be. It would give Edge that one more WrestleMania moment as well, which, look, I know that I'm sure people would love that. Love to see him in a main event at WrestleMania holding up that title one more time. Eric Harper says, imagine the awesome visual of Fiend dragging Randy into the ambulance with the mandible claw, and then the door shuts behind him with smoke coming out of the windows. Yeah, dude, that would be cool.
That would be amazing.
That would be awesome.
I can't wait for that feud. Like, it's going to blow all our minds.
Yeah. That would be awesome. Dave's fan says Keith got punted, needs to be involved in this match. Eric says, I feel WWE will not have Roman and Seth on the same show because there isn't because they're the biggest stars in WWE right now. Seth doesn't seem like it right now, but he is. Yeah, Seth's good at what he does. I don't think he's going to move like Jodie said just because of the fact that he's not going to be around. I think he's going to get into a feud. Well, obviously, he's still going against, with this whole Mysterio,
I could see him moving after Mania.
Yeah.
When he comes back.
Yeah, I could see that changing up then, probably at that point. Jennifer Carter, hello, Joe and Jeff, Jodie and Brandi. Hello, Jennifer. How are you? Hope you are doing well.
Hi.
So there you go, guys. Those are our predictions for a Clash of Champions. I appreciate all the comments from everybody in the chat. You guys are kind of getting your thoughts and your predictions out there as well. All in all, it seems like a solid show. A lot of matches. I mean, there's 9 matches on this show, which, we only had, I believe it was 8 on the last pay-per-view. So we're getting that little extra match. Of course, that match in the pre-show, the championship match with the women. Again, we talked about that being could be a show stealer. Really could be. So, yeah, we're excited. We've got a pay-per-view coming up Sunday, and segue, we will be doing a watch-along for the pay-per-view. So, if you enjoyed what you heard tonight, and we kind of have that unique thing because we get perspective from 4 people, which is amazing. Of course, we've got Brandi, we've got Jodie, and we've got Jeff and myself, all with a kind of little bit of different perspective there. And we will have that exact same thing for you on Sunday, starting at 5:45, so 5:45. Eastern Standard Time. Come on over. We will start then, 15 minutes before the pre-show. It will be Jeff, it will be Brandi, and it will be Jodie taking the realm. And then I will Roman Reigns taking the reins. I will be along at probably around 7-ish after I get home from work, and I will see you guys all hopefully then. But yeah, stop by and take a listen to the show. Like I said, if you want to watch something else, do so by all means. But hey, stick us on another device. Everybody's got more than one electronic device. You've got tablets, you've got you got the phones, you got all that kind of stuff going on, computer screens, whatnot. So hey, why not throw us on one of the screens while you are watching whatever else it is you're watching, whether that you just want to focus on the actual pay-per-view, but yeah, throw us on in the background. Why not, right? But yeah, come on over, check us out, and join us on Sunday for our Clash of Champions watch along. We're excited to see what happens, excited to see what the results are going to be, and I think it's going to be a fun pay-per-view. C says if Seth is out in December, he could return, win the Rumble, and then challenge Roman and move on to SmackDown that way. Yeah, good point. Good point. Dave's Fan says, great stream. Thank you, bud. Appreciate you coming along and watching. Rated R Wrestling says, real reason Renee Young left WWE. There's a rumor that she wants to start a family with Jon Moxley, so looks like she's not going to AEW at all. Confirmed. Okay. All right, cool. There you go. There's nothing wrong with that. Misty Aperk. Hello, Misty. How are you? Says, fun stream. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Misty, if you are new, which I don't remember seeing you before, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and also hit that like button. All of you hit that like button before you leave tonight as well. Gus1227 says, hey, oh, by the way, and I said this last night, stick around after the pay-per-view. If you come and join us, stick around after the pay-per-view. Don't leave right away. Just a spoiler. Don't leave right away because I got a little something planned for you guys after the pay-per-view ends. So come and check that out. Rusty says, Joe, wake up with a smile in the morning. It is your day, dude. Happy birthday to you tomorrow. Thanks, dude. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much, Rusty. And obviously, like I said, thank you for that amazing gift that you sent along. Really appreciate that. And I will. Look, hey, yes, I'm turning 49. I'm going backwards. So there you go. I will definitely be happy when I wake up. I will be a year younger. Look what happened. Look what this 2020 did. It's making people age backwards. It's making everybody age backwards. So yeah, thanks, Rusty. I really appreciate that. DJ B Tazzy says, be here late Sunday, but I'll be here. Cool, dude. I hope so. I know you've got the baseball stuff going on. The playoffs are starting. DJ B Tazzy will be busy. Yeah, man. Thank you for coming. I hope you will all be here. Eric says, I don't want to see Slapnuts and T-Bat and Maze Balls, the Clash of Champions. Oh, man. Poor Retribution. But that's it, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Really, really appreciate that. Hope you enjoyed the show as always. Don't forget, Brandi and Jeff are back tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with the hot tag. So I'm tagging out. I'm going to let Jeff and Brandi take over. And what are you guys talking about tomorrow?
We are talking about Mr. Teddy Long, and we're
holla,
throwing
holla.
in something holla playa, and we're throwing in something special for you guys. We're also going to talk a little bit about Mr. Slick as well.
Nice.
See if he can preach it for us tomorrow night.
Very nice. Very nice. Slick's awesome. I always loved him as a manager. So, yeah, make sure you guys are here tomorrow night. Hot Tag has been absolute fire lately. I got to listen to the last 2 episodes when I was on my way home from work. So make sure you join them tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Hot Tag. And make sure you join us on Sunday because it's going to be a good time. Gus says, happy birthday. Thank you, dude. Appreciate that. Bye to Dave's fans. See you guys. Butterspark says, great stuff. Thank you. And Sonny, we all know that your internet is pretty crappy. But thank you all, guys. Really appreciate it. Have a great rest of your evening and stay safe. We will talk to you all very soon. Brandi and Jeff, we'll talk to you tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Remember to be there. Good night, all, and take care. Have a great night, everybody.